Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy T,
And it's your boy D.
And this your boy Jay.
and this is Unquoted, your number one source for pop culture commentary. All right, guys, let's get it. So, today's topic, guys, is firing a pastor. So, apparently, what happened is Trill Song's church fired Pastor Carl Lentz, one of their main pastors. Just in case you guys didn't know, he's a pastor to a lot of famous people like Justin Bieber and a lot of other celebrities. So
hmm
essentially, they fired him for cheating on his wife. How do you guys think about that? Like, what do you guys think?
Honestly, if he was going to cheat on his wife, he shouldn't have chose like this profession. But I'm not surprised because like pastors, popes, all the people in the church, they be getting down and dirty all the time. Like you've even heard the stories about pastors and like deacons touching little boys and girls. So it's not far fetched to you know that someone's like stepping out of their marriage, even though they are like part of the church.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you that like it doesn't matter what your job title is, who you are. Everybody is fully capable of doing anything, just about. So no matter who you are, like even you might view someone as like the most holy person in the world, and someone who only does something good, does good things. You can't really judge a book by its cover, and you never know what the fuck anybody is capable of, especially like popes and priests that do hear about all these stories about them committing pedophilia with kids. So it's like you can't ever put someone on a pedestal in terms of thinking they're all holy. They're not going to do this or that, but they could have done just as many bad things as you've done in your life, or even much worse. So it's like you can't ever hold anybody to a pedestal and think they're gonna not ever do anything bad in their entire lives. They're fully capable of.
Yeah, I honestly don't think he should have been fired because I think at the end of the day, like, even if you're a pastor, you're a man of God, like, no one is perfect. Everybody is going to commit a sin. Everyone's going to do something that they're not supposed to be doing. And just going into that, like, I mean, it's normal. Some people in marriages cheat. It's unfortunate, but it happens. I don't think that like that makes him a bad pastor because he cheat. That makes him an imperfect person, but no one is
Exactly.
perfect. So in my regard, I don't think that he should have got fired. But I was talking to one of my friends who is religious, and they said like normally like it takes them a long time to like fire a pastor, or like it has to happen like a lot. But like my main thing against this church is the fact that they kind of announced it, and they announced the reason why, which is what I didn't like about it. Because it's like it's one thing to fire someone, but imagine you getting fired for your job and then them just like telling everybody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as if that church was trying to do things, was like doing it for clout, in the sense that it's like they could have just let him go and just let and left it as that. But like, nah, they want that attention from firing him because, like you said, he was like Justin Bieber's pastor, or like he was a celebrity pastor, so that would get them publicity, and they probably thought all publicity is good publicity and just chose to put it out there for all of us to know.
Yeah, I think why they would put it out there for everybody to know is because it kind of like clears their name in terms of like why they fired him. And if they felt like it was justifiable for them to fire him, they wanted to make sure like it was the public knew about it, so that way they're not just firing him for no apparent reason. So I
Good
think that's
clout.
why they put him out. Yeah, I think that's why they put his name out there to clear their name of it and to explain like why they chose to fire him. But then again, that goes to the topic of should someone's personal life be like a determining factor for them losing their job? Maybe in that situation, for them being a pastor or priest, I don't know. I don't know really know what the true answer to that is, but someone's personal life, like if any they had any other job in the world, like would they have gotten fired for cheating on their wife? Probably not. But the fact that he was a pastor or a priest, then they found that out. Maybe that was like their determining factor for firing him. Who knows? But I don't know if that's shit. If someone's personal life should really affect their job security like that to that extent.
Yeah, I don't. But I'm actually gonna read because basically the mistress spoke out, and it's kind of guys want to get your feedback on what you guys think about the mistress's comments on this. It's kind of funny actually.
Okay.
So one of the things she said was like, "I'm here to tell the truth," uh, and maybe by doing that, I will give people the courage to speak up. And hold on, she says, She said, after meeting him in New York, after saving her phone number in the notes section of his phone, which she noted was a red flag, the two met up at her apartment where she allegedly drank tequila and talked for hours. He allegedly told her that she was the most beautiful woman from the Middle East. She went on to do a background check on him and even asked if he was married, which he admitted. So he admitted to being married. She shared how much he talked about his wife and how guilty he felt about the relationship. But according to Rand, which apparently is her name, is he called her his Middle Eastern unicorn woman and told her she reminded him of his friends, the Kardashians, something that rubbed her the wrong way. I don't like when people name drop. She went on to call Lentz out about being a professional narcissist who lies too much. However, she claims that they started seeing each other more than twice a week. We were obsessed with each other, she said, and he was like a drug to me and I was a drug to her. And then lastly, she owned up to her daughter's behavior. I was unfaithful in my okay. So basically that's all the comment. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I have no sympathy. I don't know what she was trying to gain from this because she knowingly indulged in this behavior, knowing full well he was married, and now like, is she trying to get sympathy out of this or something like that? Like, because it just seems unnecessary as hell.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. She kind of is like, I want other people to speak out and hear the voice against it. And it was like, you knowing
Yeah,
knew he was married, and then
Yeah.
like
She,
he
she,
didn't rape you or nothing. Like he offered you some dick, and then knowing full well that he was married, you still said yes. I was like, it takes two to tango here. So why are you trying to like encourage people for what? Like what is she talking about? It's just dumb.
Yeah, it sounded like she's trying to play the victim card and trying to make it seem like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong in this situation, so I want other people to speak up about it and to defend him. But you're in the wrong. You're just as much in the wrong as he is because you knew he was married and he's a famous pastor, and you knew what the ramifications were of your actions of sleeping with him, knowing he was married. So I feel like she should accept just as much guilt as he should. And since she slept with him and he was married, she should feel just as guilty as he does.
yeah, and then she's gonna try to like throw dirt on him, like he's a narcissist and blah blah blah. And it's like, what? Like, why are you volunteering all this information? Like, she's like volunteering to shit on him, but like, I don't think she realizes how bad this makes her look. It's like you knew he was married, you slept with him, and then now you're bashing him for being a narcissist. But then you said he was like a drug to you, so you're a drug to a narcissist, and you like taking the drug. So that means you like narcissists. Like, it's it's not making a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, and then she even pointed out certain things that he did, which were red flags, but still kind of just went along with it. So my thing was that she probably saw that he was successful, probably had a lot of money, and chose to fuck with him because of that. But like now that everything's put out there, she has to try to wait to be the victim or like save face, so she doesn't come across as a thought.
Yeah, she ain't nothing but a gold digger. And she was just with him for the money, clearly. I think that's what it is. So I think now that when everything was all nice and cool, when nothing had happened and he didn't get caught, now that he's gotten caught and gotten fired, now she wants to throw him under the bus. But she ain't say nothing before. So she's just trying to play the victim and just trying to bash him now that everything's going to shambles for him.
Yeah, I thought that was just so like she just made herself look way worse. And like I don't know, I think this also brings up the subject is do you guys think that we give too much power to religious figures? And I'm not talking about like Jesus or anything like that, like God or anything. I'm talking about like to like pastors and to like popes cuz like people in a sense they kind of view them like they are a god. So like what are you guys' view on like us kind of like holding pastors to like a high esteem?
No, I think we used to do that, but I think now we just have high expectations of them. Like, but I don't feel as if we give them too much power because back then, son, the church ran shit. As in, like kings and queens were like one thing, but the Pope and the church they ran everything, bro. It was like they were above them, and they can make all the decisions by saying, like, "Oh, this goes against God's will, or God doesn't want this, and they could do whatever the fuck they want. But like now, all that shit's died down. But I still think that we do hold them to such high expectations.
Yeah, and I think I think as people are becoming more knowledgeable about like the stories that they're hearing about pastors and popes and priests and all that, once they hear people hear like more stories about them, like in terms of bad things that they're doing, their perception is slowly starting to change about them, and people are just not having as high of expectations for them. They're Now it's just like, oh, they're doing their job, but like you never know what the fuck they could be doing behind closed doors, and people just had held them to a high pedestal. But now I think people's perception and expectations of them are slowly starting to change the more and more bad stories that they're hearing about them.
No, I definitely feel the same way. And the way that I look at a pastor is like, I realize that they're human. And yeah, I do hold them to a higher stand just because, the position that they are. Like, just how, like, we hold the president up to a high standard because he is the president. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can kind of understand us holding them to such a high esteem. But at the same point, I do realize that there's still people and they're still flawed. Actually, like, a quick story is that, like, I had a pastor in my youth. I had like this little like youth church that, I went to like every Sunday and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. And like he ended up messing with one of the girls that was in the church.
Oh my.
And
Crazy.
she was like, I don't know, this was when I was like younger. So I think she was like 16 or 17. And like he
That's
was like
crazy.
20 something. I think he was like 28 or something. But like,
Crazy.
yeah,
That's insane.
that right there kind of like made me kind of like, all right, these guys are people too, because it's like,
Yeah.
and the thing is, the thing I also put in consideration is like, when you're a pastor, when you're in a position of power, like women do come to you. Like people want to ignore that, but like it's true. And a perfect example is this. Like I told you, just in case some of you guys are unaware, me, D, and Jay all went to school together. Whenever Jay would throw parties, a lot of times like I'd just be outside guarding the door, and like the amount of women that would come up to me to just try to get in the party, the amount of stuff that they would try to do, it was pretty crazy. So like I can definitely see why some of these pastors kind of act upon on some of these urges. But like
That,
obviously, the
yeah,
kid urges is too much.
that too. And also, I think people have to stop doing like a correlation isn't like causation, because I honestly feel as if some people who want to get at like women or like little kids will actively pursue a job that like puts them in that position too, because if you guys know about like those like Christian missionaries who like travel to third world countries to like help them out, a lot of them are actually like pedophiles who took the job because one, they because it like puts them in a third world country, so less laws, and they are free to just rape and just pedophile like all those little kids. Yeah, that shit happens a lot. So I feel as if people in the church like who like pursue church jobs, they probably do it because it gives them easy access to kids or like women, and to like take advantage.
That's crazy.
That's sick, man. That's
It
sick.
happens. It happens. Don't
That's
trust
so
those
sick.
missionary people. So do not trust them. I mean, some of them are probably cool, good people, but a good chunk of them is like, yo, I'm just here to fuck some little boys and girls. Honestly, like that's how they be. That's how they be.
Oh hell no.
Hell no. See that those are the people that like are. I don't know. I feel like, bro, you live a life like when you reap what you sow, basically.
Yeah.
So you go out and you do that. Watch that stuff is gonna happen to you, or it might happen to one of their kids or something like that. So I mean, it's terrible. But do you guys have any closing thoughts?
Pastors are human too, bro. So I'm not surprised with anything they do. Bars.
I'll just say never hold anybody on a pedestal, because anybody's capable of doing anything, even if they're the pastor, the pope, or if they're viewed in your eyes the most holy person on earth. They can still be fully capable of doing the craziest shit that you never even would ever even think about doing.
No, I feel the same way. So basically, I'm going off kind of what Jay was saying. Like you can never judge a book by their cover. So I think it's always important to really know someone before you put too much faith in them. And I think people should put more faith on their actual religion in the person, whoever they worship. If you worship Buddha, then put it on Buddha. If you worship God, Jesus, put it on Jesus. Don't put it on some manly figure, because that person, they're still flawed at the end of the day. So they're still liable to make mistakes. So I mean,
Exactly.
I think that's a big part of it. But this has been your boy T,
This has been your boy D.
This has been your boy Jay.
and we are out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.